Hello good people, and welcome back. After learning about functions, our last discussion was on functions. We've gone through functions extensively, though not fully. Want us now proceed to our next topic or lesson, which we're going to cover strings. So basically strings in Python. Should be number 6. So we're going to cover strings in full, what strings do and the likes. So as usual, let's write a readme file. Now, our main topic here is strings, and we'll have subtopics in this. Among things we'll cover on strings includes the first one we'll do string slicing. We'll cover string formatting. We'll cover strings method. We'll cover string method, and then we'll do a reference of string methods. We'll as well be able to do splitting and then strings. Lastly, we'll do some examples. Basically, each of our subtopic here will have an example. So we can get started with string slicing. So I bet this won't be a tough topic because we had covered the strings in all of our introduction videos initially. So let's cover something about strings. So strings, strings, yeah. Strings follow each other. Like, strings are basically a sequence type, I'd say so. These are strings are sequence type that have characters. Having characters. Now, are they ordered? Not by index. How are they ordered in an index? They are ordered from left to right. Easy example of this is a string called book, right? So this is a string called book, right? So let's see an example. So we have said there are characters. So basically we have B0, B, O, OK. Then we have indexing. How is indexing done in this? We have indexing from left to right. So basically this is left, right? B. So this is left to right. So our indexing starts from B to K. So this will be index 0, starts from 0. So this will be 0, index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So K is index 3, first O is index 2, the other O is index 1, and then we have B being index 0. I hope that makes sense of how indexing is done in strings. Basically, the indexing matches position, as we've just seen, supplies the position. I bet I have just explained this, how that happens. if we now want to, now we can access each string by using we can access each character of this string by using an index. How that makes sense? So let's see where after understanding how the indexing of a string works, let's say we want to read more than one character. Right? This is a character 1, character 2. We want to read, let's say you want to read double O, you want to read B and K, right? So this is now where the slicing notation comes in. How that makes sense? So accessing let's say, okay, first we should be able to access consecutive characters, basically, which means they follow each other. Accessing B, accessing OOK, accessing B, OO, basically they are following each other, they are consecutive, they follow each other. So using slicing notation, right, notation, we are able to read multiple consecutive characters. How that makes sense? That for us to access multiple consecutive characters, you're supposed to use the slide. It's where the slicing notation comes in. Like this is where the slicing we've been talking about strings comes in, right? So how does the slide, what's the syntax, right? Like how is it written? So syntax for slicing notation. Let me add the size of this now. Yeah, exactly. Let's sorry about that. I was increasing the size of the font. Let's do an example of if we get book, right? So we want to access a book was the name of our string. So we want to have the start, where it starts and where it ends, right? So that's how. So this creates a new string whose value contain the characters. The characters of what we just made here. I hope that makes sense. Let's do an example. Example of let's say we have a URL, right? Sorry, URL. Basically, URL will have HTTP :// right? Then we can say this is just an example. I'll get close to one here. I'll remove here. So this is our URL, right? Then we can say a domain is equals to the URL. This is what holds our string. Right? So we now want to have a new string. So we're going to slice the URL, then have new start to end, right? So we just want to have github.com. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll say start from 6 to 6. 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's say to 16. Okay, we'll see what we have here. we'll see what we have, and then we'll know we've done the correct counting. So we'll print domain. Let's do an example now in a file, then we'll be able to, I'll say string 1. So let's run that. Let's go to number 6, right? Then we say Python, then we run the file. We're supposed to start from number 7. Yeah. Then we're supposed to end at number 17, because when we see what we're doing, it doesn't show a full. So right now, as we've seen, this is the start, this is the end. This is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start from 7, right? So this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If we put 16, it won't have the M at the end. That's how we're going to have github.com printed in our terminal, because we have done a string slicing of the, so we've said 7 to 17. That's how we've done a string slicing of the URL. Then now the new domain contains the new values of the what we have right here. How that make sense? How we've been able to limit, how we've been able to slice our string, and then we've had new domain, where we've been able to slice the URL, then have a new string having the index, using the indexing of what we have. I hope that makes sense of how this works. Let's do example 2. So basically we'll say what we're trying to do here is another one. We will say string slicing. What we're trying to do, string slicing. Now let's have another example. Let's say we have a string called myString. Then we say, this is just an example. The cat jumped the brown cow. So you had a cat and it jumped the brown cow. So let's have let's slice our mice. So what we're going to have a new variable called animal. What that will store is to store the slicing of mice. So my underscore string str. So we want to start from, sorry, we are using number 4 to number 7, right? Then you can print the animal there. So you can say print. We formatting string. Then we say the animal. Basically, we want to have strings with start with an F. And then the animal is. We have the square bracket. We have the. We passed here. What do we print when we? So we're passing this animal here. Now let's do an example. Let's print string 2. The animal is a cat. Why? It's because my string now has a slicing. Animal has a slicing of my string from number 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 0, 1, 2. Then the space is 3, and then we have 4. Starting from 4, 5, 6, space is 7. So this is what we have in our terminal here. We just printed it here. Now let's proceed with this. Let's have another math string. And we're going to say, what does this store? It says the fox jump the brown llama. Yeah. let's print this. We say print format string, say the animal is string. The reason why we have the animal not changing is because it has not been given a new variable. It has not been changed. That's why the animal here remains to be the one which was just used here. I hope that makes sense. Despite us having a new string, unless we had animal here, now it will have picked the fox. I hope that makes sense. So if we bring this animal down here, right, we have now the supposed to comment that out because there's no animal. Now you see now the new one picks the animal being fox because we have a new string and Python just pick that. So let's take it back to where it was, and we now have the animal being, the animal is cut. So I'll just have to with this. It's okay. The animal is still, yeah. That's okay because we have the animal being, it remains the same. So I hope you have understood how strings slicing works. Basically, that was an example of how strings works using the numbering. How that makes sense, and we've been able to cover other examples initially. Let's see how the numbering in our string affects the output we have. So I'll use it in string 3 just below, and for this I'm going to say my string is equals to let's go say http // wikipedia.org/wiki/NASA. Let's say when we print my string. Fine. So let's do Python string 3. Right? We have output of our link here. Let's see. Let's output different. Let's see how slicing works. Let's see examples of how the numbering works. Right? So we can say my string. I'll say, okay, let me say slice 1 so that we see how that works. So let's try slice 1. Suppose my string square brackets, then we enter the first number. So we'll say 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Start from 10 to 19. This is just prints. So we'll print slice 1. We'll print all the string we had, then we print slice 1. Okay. So let's run this. We see our output is Wikipedia. So that's how slicing 1 is done. Let's do slice 2. Slice 2 will be my string square brackets, then we'll do 10, which is W full colon. What happens when we do -5? Okay? So what this does is, sorry, slides 2. what this does is it returns the characters in indices from 10 to 28. I hope that makes sense, because we have dot slash wiki, basically 1 2 3 4 5 from the last point, just -5. So this being the last, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Oh, that makes sense. That we don't want the first, we don't want the last characters here. That's what that's why we have had to use the negative in slash. This is another example of slice 3. So we're going to do my string. Basically, this is to show us how the numbering works. If you want to start from a certain number and print all the other remaining words, just put the number you want to start, then you just use a full colon, then to print the rest. So for this, it starts from number 8 to the last one. So let's see what it outputs. So it outputs from n, so 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So n to the last one, because you just start from 8 to the last one. How does that make sense? Then we can do another slice 4, which we say equals to my string square bracket. You can say from the first one to another full colon. Yeah. So basically, it's from the first letter to letter number 23. So let's print slice. Sorry. So we will do print slice 4. Let's see what we have here. Let's do this. Yeah. So we can do. Let's go to. Okay. Let's get back to our folder, and we do Python string 3, string 4, string 3. So it's half from the first letter to letter number 23. I hope this makes sense of how slicing works, and we've covered slicing and examples of slicing. I hope that makes sense and we have understood. Maybe the last thing we can talk about in string slicing is the string slice stride. Yeah. So what this is, basically how many steps you'd want it to cover, right? So we can say it's called basically introduction of a third argument. Introduction of a third argument. Yeah. So when you introduce a third argument, basically how many steps? Basically a stride is a step. Yeah. So how many steps you'd like? I'm going to paste an example here, then you can go through it together. So an example. Okay. So an example is here. Let me copy this example here. Yes. Now, for this example, this is the third element, basically the third argument. So this is it shows us the steps it has to skip. Yeah. So for example, this will output, basically there's nothing to skip here. This skips 2 and this skips 3. So it's from 1 to 9 and this skips 3. From the first one to the last one, it skips 2. Let's see in our file how the output is. So we'll do string 4. Yeah, so in string 4, you see And so this one, it outputs everything. There's no third argument, right? Here we're saying from the first to the last, but skip 2. So basically it will start with 0, skips so basically it's skipping after every 2. So this is 0, 1, it prints 2. Basically the first, second, prints this and this, it prints 4, another 2, 6, another 2, 8, and then that's the end, because after another 2 from 8, it's nothing, because we just have 1 after 1. How that makes sense? Like we're going to have this being the first one, yes, then after 2, so it's first, second, it prints 2. After 2, after another 2, it's first, second, 2. After another 2 is first, second, 2. How that makes sense? That's how we skip 2. If you want to skip 3 here, basically we're going to say the first one is 0, right? Okay, but no, okay, it could have been 0, but we've been, according to our numbering here, we've been told to start from 1. So the first will be 1, right? Then you skip 3, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3. We are at 4, right? Another 3 is 0, 1, 2. We are at 7. How that makes sense? If from 1, then you skip after every 3 steps, 3 strides. A stride is a step. So basically 3 steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3. We land at 4. And then from 4, another step, step 1, step 2, step 3. We're at 7. So another 3 from here is step 1, step 2, but then now we're going to pass 9, which our limit is at 9. How that makes sense of how the stride works in strings? And basically we've learned about strings formatting, strings slicing was our main topic for this. I hope you've been able to understood how that works, and in case of any questions, let me know. Next we're going to cover the string formatting, then string methods. See you in the next one. Happy coding.